You know, in Montana, there's really it's such a small area, that there really isn't any so-called transgender groups here. So, you know, I'm not sure where this is all going to lead me, but I'm thinking that because I'm a nurse, that part of my role is going to be to educate medical community, you know, nurses, social workers, physicians, because there's such a lack of knowledge, and even in the medical community, you know, when Michelle, my patient, was hospitalized the year prior, she told me, she said, you know, that she was treated terribly in the hospital, and she said the nursing staff was the worst. And I mean, that just broke my heart. And I think a lot of it is just a lack of education. And so I'm thinking that that might be a really good place to start as well, educating the medical community. Because you know, especially being nurses, and you would think we're, you know, non-judgmental and accepting, but the bottom line is again, is that lack of education and understanding. And so I'm thinking that that might be a good place to kind of start venturing out into, is the medical community would be a really good place to start opening some hearts and minds.
You've had such a huge experience there, and you know, I mean, you've found that you've grown enormously through this process, haven't you?
Oh my, it was, you know, after she died, I just was a sponge for information. I started reading all kinds of books, and it's pretty incredible. Again, how the right people would just start showing up, and the synchronistic events kept happening. It was amazing. I actually went to a spiritual medium, and which at that time I didn't even know what that meant. My sister-in-law, who's just, I think, one of my little angels here on earth, she's a nurse also, and she was telling me one day about this patient of hers, and she said, oh, he's a spiritual medium. And I said, what is that? And you know, she went on to explain. She said, Michelle, it's amazing. He knows things about my kids and about me that there's just absolutely no way that he, you know, I didn't tell him anything. And I left her that day, and I called her back, and I said, I'm supposed to meet him, aren't I? And that's why you met him, because I'm supposed to talk to him. And she said, yeah, I think so. And because if it would have been anybody else except her that would have come and said, you know, you need to talk to this guy, I would be thinking, what? You're nuts. So I did. I went and I spent, oh gosh, almost 2 hours with him, and it was incredible experience. And you know, he told me that day, I remember one thing that he told me. He said, you know, if you are ever challenged or you ever want any answers regarding anything, he said, you need to read the book Sermon on the Mount by Emmett Fox. And I said, okay, I'll remember that. Well, that following week, I just so happened to be at my dad's house, and my dad was teaching my youngest son piano, doing a piano lesson. And I thought, well, I'm going to go downstairs and take a look at my dad's books. And lo and behold, what book is there?
No.
Emmett Sermon on the Mount, really? Right there. I thought, oh, for gosh sake, yeah. And that's just happening over and over again. So that's when I really started getting into the you know, I've always been a very positive attitude person, and liked self-help books and for many years. But I you know, through my reading and after this experience, I knew what I was missing. I was missing that spiritual component of it. And so I just started reading a lot of Wayne Dyer and Debbie Ford and Cheryl Richardson and Louise Hay. I really got involved with Hay House. And it just was a sponge for information, and it was quite interesting, because each time I would kind of have a standstill with the book, I knew that I had more work to do on myself. I knew that there was one more, you know, piece of the puzzle that I had to figure out, or so I knew that I just wasn't ready to advance with anything with the book until I figured out what it was that I needed to work on me some more. So it's been quite the journey. And like I said, this is you know why Michelle was put into to my life, so for my own soul's evolvement.
And when was this that you met Michelle? What year was it?
2006. So it's been almost yeah, almost 6 years, 5.5 years.
Are you still a hospice nurse?
Yes, yes, I still do home health and hospice nursing. Hmm. And I love that. I love being a nurse, and that's another way that I demonstrate, you know, my unconditional love for others is I go into a situation, into any home, and you know it takes so little. It takes so little to just put a smile on somebody's face, or you know, to give them a hug. Um, it's it's such a good feeling. It's such a good feeling, and I always walk away. You know, if I know I've made it a bit, just a tiny bit of difference in their day or in their world, then I've done my job, and I'm the one who receives tenfold that love. My goal would be to be able to cut back a little bit on nursing. I always will keep my foot in the door with nursing, because I do enjoy it. I don't like the paperwork, and it seems like more and more paperwork, but um, I'd like to cut back a little bit so that I could have more time to do education and get more involved with the transgender community, and you know, do more public speaking, do more coaching. So that's how it's all going to unfold when it's the right time. Especially with the hospice patients, people, I have learned so many valuable life's lessons from someone who's dying. Um, you know, when someone's dying, basically everything out there doesn't matter anymore. What matters is their relationships. What matters is what's most important in their heart and the connections that they have. And um, like I said, I've learned so many lessons about living and what's truly important in life from people that are dying when they have nothing left. Um, and again, just that power of love, and the external stuff doesn't matter. It's insignificant, and it's, you know, connecting again to other people on a very deep soul to soul level. But it's I learn lessons every day from my patients, every day.
So the opportunity to develop unconditional love is actually a very, very great gift.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You know, and even my home health patients that are not dying, and they're, you know, they're getting better. I've got a lot of patients that are very compromised in one way or another, and again, I learned so many lessons from them on you know, just being able to serve, and have an attitude of gratitude. It's just made me so realize, again, what's important, and um, we all just want to be loved, accepted, and loved. It's pretty simple, and we make it so hard, and it doesn't have to be hard.